Hey everybody, welcome back to X-Plane 11. I'm Bill, and the flight I'm going to do today is going to be short but hopefully pretty fun in the default King Air C90. And currently I'm in Santa Rosa, which is just north of San Francisco, and it's going to be a quick flight from Santa Rosa up here down to SFO, about 60 miles south. So pretty quick flight, but two things will hopefully make it a little bit interesting. First one is we've got a crazy crosswind, which you can see right there, and that wind is for here in Santa Rosa, and it's the same in San Francisco as well. So it's a pretty substantial crosswind, which will make for interesting landing. And I've got the plane about 25% overweight. So that will make it equally as interesting. Going to kind of simulate a short cargo run, I guess. So I've got a quick checklist here. So we've got parking brake set, seat belts, fuel quantity checked, landing gear control is down. Condition lever high idle, prop lever high, throttle idle. Okay, so let's do battery on and beacon on. Get those things going. I'm going to set this thing up once we get the engine started. So next step, start engines. So startup checklist. Okay, area clear. Let's do right engine auto ignition arm. So there is the auto ignition is armed. Starter. We've got to get the starter. I always forget where the starter is on this. So there's auto ignition, engine anti-ice. Oh, it's right down here. Okay, starter on. So this will turn the engines over, and you would normally feed in the fuel at the same time. So let's see if we just hold it for 10 seconds. Okay, so we normally get this thing going and then give it fuel. Come on, man. Get up there. There you go. Okay, so that one's going. Let's check. Okay, so we don't have any torque. ITT is alive and climbing. Prop RPM is going. Turbine RPM going. Fuel flow is alive. Oil pressure is climbing, and oil temp is climbing. Cool. Okay, so that is starting to normalize. So now let's get the left guy going. Once that thing kind of stabilizes here, 10 seconds. Okay, that's going. Now let's get, I can do that manually since the second one's up. All right. Okay, so then let's go with, gotta get the, oh shoot, I didn't have the auto ignition on. Didn't seem to mind that. Okay, inverter is, do I even need that on? Inverter on. Okay, well, let's just get the, we know we need the generators on. Inverter, I feel like that, let's do number 1 maybe. Okay, that seems about good. Auto ignition off. Okay, and that should be good. Okay, so while that is warming up and we just kind of glance down here, everything looks to be happy. Let's get in to the 530 and put in all of our information. Flight plan, okay, menu. Let's delete this flight plan. And we are simply going to go direct to SFO. And we'll we might take a peek at the procedures going in, but I think we probably just do a visual because I want to hand fly it in with a crosswind. Okay, accept. Okay, but procedure, let's do departure. Let's see what it has for departure. Freeze 9, and which runway are we going to take? Are we taking off from? We are going to be departing from runway 32. Runway 32, and crap, what's the transition? The transition we are going to use is PYE. Okay, well that looks, I don't know how that is. How does that look? It looks like it's going in the same direction. Load. Load it, homie. And now let's check our work. Nope. See, I don't know how this works. I want to like scroll to be able to see that, but I think it looks pretty good. Okay, while we are here, we need some important information from the airport, which is going to be found on 120 55. So let's grab the ATIS here. What does he have to say? Sky conditions, blah blah blah, wind 260, 19 gusts. At 19, gust 26, so it's pretty healthy. Altimeter is 2886. 2886, there we go. Okay, and departing runway 32, that's what we suspected. And in fact, I'm going to get, since we're not messing with any towers or ATC, I'm just going to put the ATIS for SFO in here, which is 113. No, it's not 113 because that is impossible. It's 118.85. Just switch that. 118.85. Okay, so once we get close, we'll pack that in. Okay, so I think everything looks good here. Let's just dial that back for taxi. I gotta bind those to a key. I don't think they... Oh, nope, they are. Check that out. Okay. Alright, so we are taxiing out to our right. And let's get taxi lights on, and strobe, and tail flood, because why not? Am I going the right way? Jeez, I thought I had it. Thought I knew where I was going. Me. Yeah, okay. So I'm going the right way. Just got that dude trying to race me. Alright, we've got him beat. Let's just cut in front of him here. This thing taxis so fast. Probably pull back the props even more. Ground physics are not X-Plane's strong suit. That's the hold short that we just blew right through. Okay, so did not taxi correctly. Let's put it there. Let's get taxi off. Let's get landing on. Okay. And let's set this to, we're not going very far, so we're going to keep it pretty low. But we got to be clear of some of the terrain. Okay, let's get these open. That's not going to do too much. Not really on this flight, but that's okay. All right. So I think we're relatively okay. I'm going to put it on nav right there. And VNav, we don't have anything. Vertical speed, we don't have anything there. So, yeah, damper on. Okay, so once we get lined up, we gotta go. I thought I was gonna be able to do that quicker. Props are on full. That's clunky. And then, nope, those are on full. Okay. All right, so big crosswind component here. Still wants to turn into the wind. Big crosswind. Yep. Jeez. Okay, we're up. Okay, let's get that gear up. Let's get this autopilot on. Up. Did I do it again? Yeah, I did it again. I did not switch it over to GPS. Okay. There it goes. All right, let's... That was a very eventful takeoff, actually. So let's see. Let's watch that crosswind just take that left wing up. Check this out. I mean, I wasn't really working on that crosswind component as much as I should, and you can see right there it just starts to tip like really bad. So I was not doing all that I should have been. So there's the torque pulling it, and then there's the crosswind right there. Trying to keep it straight. Not doing a good job, and up. All right, once I'm up, it's not too bad, but that was pretty crazy. Okay, so I don't know what that's in reference to, but so we're following our departure here, freeze departure. And let's get these landing lights off. What else we got to do here? I think we're pretty tidy. I mean, there's other stuff that the default King Air does not have function, which is fine because I don't know what I'm doing most of the time, so it helps having that. Shoot. Cut off the fuel by accident. Okay, let's get that lower. Let's get the props pulled back a little bit. I think like 2200 RPMs is a good prop. Okay, so it's a little bit below that. So that's fine. 20. Oh, it's starting to come up. Okay. Yeah, this autopilot's really fighting that wind. Oof. Okay, let's see how we're doing here. Let's go to flight plan. So we're 62 miles. Okay, that's not too bad. We've got a nice climb going. Let me just check the charts here to see, double check that we're not going to run into anything crazy. So there is, right now, if we pull up, this straight line right into San Francisco, which this is all part of the departure here. So here is the straight line right into SFO. That is not really ideal because it takes us right over the city, which is fine, but we need to come back around because that does not line us up for landing very well. So let's see if I can reroute to a VOR. There is an Oakland VOR that we could stick in there, but I'm not going to worry about that. I'm just going to hand fly it once we get over the city a little bit. So cruising at 120. That's okay. We've got a little stuff. We got it dialed back a little bit. And we're climbing. Autopilot's doing its thing. It's a cool plane. It's, like I said, not hugely detailed in the functionality in the cockpit, but for what it is, you know, for a default plane turboprop, it's pretty cool. Sounds awesome. All turboprops, I think, sound awesome. Yeah, looks okay. So we got, what is it? Two more points to hit for our departure, and that should probably line us up a little bit better than what I'm showing here on Flight Vector. I mean, it's just going to take us a little bit further west and then come down a little bit more. We probably will actually be on the west of the Golden Gate Bridge, at which point that is probably a good time to cut across and go down the bay. So once we do that, we'll be able to get our visual approach, and we'll check the ATIS 2 to see what runways they're using currently. What was that? Alright, so we're still climbing. Let's just put it, let's go altitude hold. $5,000 feet. It's a little bit high, but we've got plenty of time. If I start, let's pull back here. It's always fun when you've got like a nice departure that the autopilot follows, and you can look at it on your trace, and you can just see those points as bing, bing. That is pretty satisfying. And if you're wondering how I found the departure, I don't have the nav data updated. So a lot of the airports that I fly in and out of that I try to do arrivals and departures, they are on slightly different numbers and may not have the exact departure and arrival procedures. But what I did is on SkyVector, if you just hover over the airport name as you have it in your flight plan, it'll show you like a little PDF, and it will list out taxi diagram, instrument approach procedures, and departure procedures. So for the departure procedure, I just checked each one to see which one was routing to the south from the runway that I was using. And Freeze 9, which is the current one, is what I use. I think that is actually the procedure that I used on here. I think it was Freeze 9, yeah. So that one, it had updated correctly. And then as for San Francisco, I'm not using a procedure. I'm just going to just do a visual approach in there. But the same thing, I would hover over that, and there's a bunch of approaches here. ILS, PRM runway 28 left. So you could click that and look at it and see, is that from the direction that I'm flying, and then you can read all of the approach notes and all that kind of stuff. And that's something that's definitely at this point way over my head, but something that the simulator, that X-Plane, provides you a platform to learn, because there's really no easy way to learn that other than just doing it. And this gives you a good way to do it, and you can check your work. You can see exactly what you've done. It sets you up right on this this airway, which we're of course gonna cut into. So once we get to PYE, which is the transition that we selected, it's going to route us direct to SFO, which is, there is not an airway, but it's going to cut right here. So what I'm going to do is, as soon as we get to right about here, probably, I'm going to take over and then fly around the city and probably just come straight into whatever runway this is. It's probably like 19 or something. I'd have to check once we get there, and if that is even the right runway to take. So you can look at the crosswind. It's just crabbing like crazy. And now we don't have visibility. Holy crap. Did we just get into clouds? Oh boy. That is really scary. Okay, we need to get down. Okay, there we go. 8,200. Yeah, we just got into the clouds. I don't know. Why was it climbing still? That's really weird. Really crappy. Yeah, I didn't set any VNAV parameters on there, so it's, which is probably what I should have done. Let's see if I'm, so target altitude, let's just put in 4,500. Nacelle. Okay, well, at least we're out of that. God. Let's see. Let's do nautical miles. Let's go. That's gonna take forever. The only point that I know, are we coming up to PYE? I can't tell. I think we're still on the way there, right? Yeah, but we're almost there. Okay, so let's do like 20 miles. Fine, 21 nautical miles before. Oh, I guess you don't have to put that in. That's kind of cool. Okay, vertical profile. Let's do. We can. Let's do that. Descend to target. Okay, now let's go VNav. Oh, good. And VNav does not work. All of that for nothing. All right. Well, at least we're out of the cloud cover. That was not smart. So far, so good. And we should be coming up to PYE right about now. There's the turn onto SFO. Alright, well at least one thing that climb did is now we're in a descent and got the speed up. Okay, we're going to do altitude hold. What is that? I don't know what that second one. Altitude arm, altitude hold. Let's just do that. So 5,500, that's going to get us, give us plenty of room. We're going to fly right past this hill here, which I think is the one overlooking the Golden Gate Bridge. I do not have the San Francisco scenery, by the way, so Golden Gate Bridge is going to look like dog do. But we'll just use our imagination. Let's see what views I had in here. These views are always kind of cool. Looking out the window. Yeah, that cloud cover was thick. See what this little seat looks like. It's pretty cool. Okay. Looks good so far. 30 miles out. We're making good time. See where the bridge would be. Yeah, I think this is where the bridge is, which is nothing right now. Oh no, it's a little bit further inland than that. It's like over here, I think. This scenery is not fantastic, so it's kind of hard to tell. Yeah, bridge is over there. And there is downtown. All right. I think I'm going to use the heading bug here and just fly to the heading once we've got that point in sight, if it will actually ever come back around. heck is it? There it is. Alright. Jeez, it was probably just like right on the other side. That's annoying. Okay, so let's lower it a little bit. Well, I need some altitude over the bridge, so never mind. I'm going to keep it right here. Just right under the cloud cover. In fact, let's hit it over to heading and just start turning towards. There's no point in going too much further out over the water. And let's drop it to 5,000. So I think if you do that, you've got to have it in vertical speed. That is way too much. Yeah, that's too much. Okay, let's see what the ATIS says now. We should be far enough out. 886, that's fine. Arriving runway 28 left and right. Okay, so that actually loops us around. Which is fine. It's just going to be a little bit further of an approach. So pull this up. So we're going to be landing on right here. So we could kind of either just cut across here and do a large base. Let's just do that. Let's just maintain this heading right here. Keep diving though. We're still pretty high, I think. This doesn't do anything that I can tell, so I don't know why I'm even bothering with it, but 4,500, we're gonna be blowing right past that. So 4,000 is pretty good over the city. And there is the beautiful Golden Gate Bridge in all of its glory. Look at that. Just beautiful. God, I gotta get a scenery pack for this city badly. That looks so stupid. That looks really stupid. And I think we're flying basically right into the large antenna. So I'm gonna not do that. I don't know if it's even in. Yeah, it doesn't look like it is in the scenery. Okay, so we're pretty close to having the airport in sight, and we're still descending, which is fine. So there's our runway right there. And let's level this dude out. Don't want to get any lower than that right now. Let's get the landing lights on. Let me see if I can pull up the landing speeds as well, because I think heavy like this. Let's see, takeoff speeds, already did that. Where is the landing speed? It's gotta be here. It sure is not, everybody. Let's see. Alright. I'm going to keep it pretty fast, I think. Alright, looks pretty good. Yeah, this default scenery for San Francisco is terrible. And it's probably, I mean, it's really not that bad, but it's probably, it just looks bad because San Francisco is such a picturesque city and area that when it looks like this, it's extra noticeable. So that might be a purchase worth making. Okay, so I'm going to not go out too much further and then start taking out this base leg here. We're at 260, so that is definitely fast. Okay, but we want everything up now, so let's get, we need full performance. This landing is gonna suck. This is gonna be really, really sucky. I can tell already. Okay. So there's a runway right over our right wing, so we can start making the move here. Okay. Autopilot, you are done for the day. Thank you. Let's make sure we're trim is at 0. Let's make sure that. Okay, passengers, get your sick bags ready. Okay, 140. And we're at 3,100 feet. And that A-pillar is in the way. All right, let's bring it down on, I don't know what that is. I do not know what you're asking me to look out for. Throttle position. Just like the Bonanza, if you have the throttle down too much with the gear up, it gets pissed. Okay, I want a really long final here. So let's get 1 notch of flaps in here. This is a cool area. It would look amazing with proper scenery. (2,400 feet). feel like we're going just into the wind, which it's like, it feels like I'm not moving at all, but we're still going 120. It's like taking forever to get there. Okay, so let's go, this looks kind of like cargo area, so let's go on, let's take the right one. Alright. See that blue line, I wonder if that's going to be like gear, safe for gear to come down. It's coming down now. Gear down. Approach flaps, 3 green. Okay, we're on approach flaps. We've got the runway in sight. Was it 2-8? Yep, 2-8. So 2-8 right. Drop a little bit, just hold that 100 right there. We're a little shallow. It just looks like we're going so slow. Get it on the runway a little bit more. Okay, got some right rudder. Dragging it in. Props are at full RPM. Okay, let's get the full flaps in here. Oh, I guess they already were. Okay, I've got a lot of right rudder going right now. Let's see if you can check it out. Yeah, it's not too noticeable actually. You can see it there a little bit more. Oh, jeez. It's like really bad. That is, it's just blowing me sideways right now. Oh, what did I get myself into? What did I get myself into? We're going to use a lot of this runway because this is insane. And I don't even know what that thing is. What is that telling me? Oh man, that was crazy stressful. Wow. Yeah, I think that was one of the most severe crosswind landings that I've done. That was insane. Oh man. Alright, let's take our first exit here. This thing still taxis like an F1 car. Sweet little King Air. Good job, buddy. Actually, I'm gonna pause this, move it back a little bit. I want to see what it looks like from, where are you? There you go. From runway view. Yeah, like look at the gusts too. Like not even facing the runway. I'm just dead center right here. So it definitely was not down the center. And there's a big float there. The touchdown was much better than I thought I was going to be able to do. But look at that angle. Like, good grief. There was no hope for this being a smooth landing. Or I shouldn't say smooth, like a textbook landing. It actually was relatively smooth. Yeah, that was pretty good. I'm happy with that. Let's give it just one more shot of the touchdown. Well, it was definitely good practice. I feel like the takeoff was probably more surprisingly difficult than I thought it was going to be. So, all right, well, we made it safely to San Francisco. Kind of from San Francisco, but still. Yeah, that was awesome. Thanks for watching, guys. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Subscribe. I try to do as many of these as possible. If you've got any suggestions for a flight that you recommend, whether it's one you've done in X-Plane or a flight simulator before, or a real-life flight, I would love to get those suggestions and kind of broaden what areas I fly in and out of. A lot of cool airports out there, so if you've got any that you particularly like, let me know. Yeah, thanks again for watching, guys, and see you next time.